Hey, listen up, Captain Marvel fans. You guys ripped me a new one on my video about is the Captain Marvel comic book set for a reboot, which I did a couple months ago in the Pop Culture Minute of the summer, the one-hit wonder of the summer. So this comes from Cosmic Book News, cosmicbook.news, basically. And this is actually on several other sites, found it several different places, came out this week. And this is not a surprise. I'm actually surprised that they didn't reboot previously. Basically, yes, the latest reboot of Captain Marvel comic book, issue 1, did fairly well. I understand that all comic books are down. The sales are down and have been down for the last several years. I get it. But now here we have Captain Marvel on life support drops 10,000 in sales. Okay. So at some point, these things are going to become too expensive. And really, it's the paying the people to draw and do all the artwork and write and that kind of stuff. That's where most of the cost goes. So even if they go fully digital, the cost goes down slightly, but not much. The printing is actually not that expensive in the general scheme of things. Well, that didn't last long, as the introduction of the new superhero sees Captain Marvel sales drop by 10,000 and return to its normal low numbers. Sales for Captain Marvel number 10 reveal 27,498 issues sold to local comic book shops, while sales for the previous issue 37,888, a drop of 27%. So we have we see speculators bought Captain Marvel 9 simply because of featuring the first appearance of the new character Star and nothing to do with the character of the book. Now that is true. Now that is, and it's comic books are not the only place you'll see this. You'll see this with certain toys. Even though toy sales, Star Wars in particular, but several others are very down. There are people who will pick up special editions and collectibles and things like that. So I'm not surprised by that. The series also due to take another change in direction that is once again away from the regular version of Carol Danvers, as the series and character are set to go dark, ironically similar to Dark Phoenix. See solicits below. Captain Marvel is also having the issue sport upwards of 3 variant covers in an attempt to keep the sales series afloat. Yeah, this is where they give you different covers. Now, I actually like this. Is interesting. Now, I don't know if they really need to go dark, but again, as I've said in all my other videos about Captain Marvel, and even have said on the Fancast and other shows that I've been a part of when we talk about this is a character that for decades has not been able to sell very well. For decades has been losing direction. Perhaps one of the more popular versions of Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel was Monica Rambeau in the 80s, but even that didn't persist, right? It's not like we're rebooting Monica a couple times where they've rebooted the character. Now it's Carol Danvers. She's gone from being a black woman to a white woman. This character's been an alien male in the past. It's been a human male in the past. And it's been Marvel and, Miss Marvel, and it just goes on and on and on. And it's almost like it's a character that no one, I'm guessing people just can't identify with somehow. I don't know if they make her too overpowered over time. Although I think Monica Rambeau didn't have a whole lot of powers, if I remember correctly. I mean, that character came out long after I wasn't really into comic books anymore, so I'm having to go by what other people have said. Introducing new characters, having them fight more popular characters, the Avengers, making them darker and drastically different, and giving the titles variant covers is something that happens when a series is on life support. That's a big old long sentence. Also pretty funny that prior to the Brie Larson Captain Marvel movie being released, that Kevin Feige said the comic book was one of Marvel's best-selling, which was not true. Maybe things will change now that Feige's in charge of the comics. Doubt it. Marvel has launched and relaunched this character so many times that I have lost count, and that is true. More than likely, we could expect another relaunch whenever Brie Larson appears again in the MCU, and when that is set to happen, unknown, as Feige hasn't announced Captain Marvel 2 for some reason, or even where and when. Brie Larson as Carol Danvers will appear next in the MCU. My guess is the next Avengers movie, but you could see her pop up kind of like what we've seen in some of the earlier MCU movies, where you get a scene of, say, 3 or 4 minutes of Loki in a non Thor movie, just to kind of lay the plot of what's coming down. You can see that there's some, wranglings going behind the scenes. I wouldn't be surprised, even a Guardians movie or something, she pops up. Could be in background, could just be hey, how you doing? Well, I'm off to fight such and such on this side. Just as to, keep the paths crossed and keep people interested and excited. I think there's 2 things here for the Captain Marvel 2 that are my opinions. One, there's a lot of shenanigans over the ticket sales, and it's the only MCU movie with them. They shoehorned her in between two very large movies. I know it was huge. She was very large, big in China. She did very well overseas, so I cannot detract from that. I mean, the people obviously like the movie for various reasons. A lot of it that people thought they had to see it to keep up with the story, which was sort of true, but not really. I think a lot of it is they're not 100% sure how the MCU is going to shake out now that it's more the big guns have ended, right? Captain America's gone, Iron Man's gone. Spider-Man's only around for a little bit more, although that wasn't a big draw. I think it had been Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man earlier on. It may have been better, but we don't know how that's going to shake out. And we're going to second Black Panther movie. We're going to finally get a Black Widow movie. Years overdue for that. And I think that is a lot of it. It's not just Captain Marvel. There's a lot of other stuff, uncertainty. We're not sure how well Disney Plus is going to go. So here's the sales in May, June. So this is when things look like they might pick up, and then it started going down. But it's it's up, down, up, down, up, down. Introduces a new character. So we have an uptrend here for 2 months. That's good. Although I don't know why it's June number 6 and June number 7. Why you come out 2 in 1 month? But hey, I mean that's almost 60,000 sales between the two of them in 1 month. That's not bad. And then we have a big bump. So we have an upward trend, and then it just drops. So that might be a big part of it. I don't know what's wrong with these. It could be that people don't like the character. Was fought off alien hordes, rescued X-Men, punched Thanos in the face. Captain Marvel number 12, literally saved the world. She now faces her greatest challenge, kill the Avengers. Was one of the world's most powerful heroes gone dark, but why? And what does this mean for Carol and for the world, life on Earth? Okay, whatever. That actually looks pretty good there. Kill the event. She's quite OP and has been for a while, but that's kind of like a Dark Phoenix look. What's wrong? Maybe it's the angle, but this looks kind of weird. But as far as modern interpretations, that's not bad. There we go. The Avengers, crush the Avengers. Captain Marvel 13. Okay, so this is Kelly. These are the writers on Avengers Dead at Captain Marvel's hands. Who will be next? Is that an Iron Man-esque? It looks like a mask here. I'm not sure. But I kind of like the idea that Captain Marvel just goes nuts. And then we have She-Hulk. She's fighting She-Hulk in 14. And let's see if I can get any comments to load, if there are any. There are none. Oh, no, here we go. What can you say? They're probably not going to be. Captain Marvel always had the thickest, deepest stacks of unsold floppies. Not even Larson's social justice lapdogs will buy this. Yeah. Again, though, that you can have great artwork, but and that'll get people to buy it for the cover. But if the story's crap, it will not continue very well. But you can have decent artwork. I wouldn't say crappy artwork. If you have crappy artwork, it's hard to get people's attention. But if you have good writing with decent artwork and, not the greatest artwork, it will sell well. But this is what people keep forgetting. This is what makes Star Wars Star Wars. This is what makes the Marvel movies what they are, is the good writing. And they seem to have forgotten that, but we'll see. So what do you think? Do you think it is about to get rebooted? Do you think they'll wait and see what happens with Brie Larson's version of Carol in the movies, when we're going to get a second Captain Marvel movie and maybe reboot a comic book based on that? Maybe it's a comic book to kind of tell us what's going on in between, kind of like what they're doing with some of the Dark Horse stuff and things in Star Wars. Or do you think they'll just reboot it again in a completely unrelated genre from the MCU movies and go forward with that? But I mean, 10,000, that's pretty, 27%. I mean, that's, nearly a third in about a month. But if you look at these sales, they are up and down, but there was an upswing trend here, probably anticipation of the new character, and then the newness wore off. So that's like probably 10,000. If you look at these sales, that's probably 10 to 12,000 sales that are just speculating that in 5-10 years, this comic book's going to be worth something because it had a new character. In particular, if they don't sell and a lot of the unsold ones get destroyed, and then over time it becomes more and more rare, and it could, if sought, go up in value because of that, but we will only see over time. Thanks. Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for subscribing, and hit that bell notification to make sure you don't miss a single video. Thank you very much, and goodbye. All right, are we good? All right, let's see if we can't get this done. I know, should have done 2 days ago, but hey, it'll still work. 3, 2, 1.